tell you of an incident that scared the hell out of me. See, when I was overseas, we always had to carry our rifle and our gas mask. And I had to take my airplane one time and bed it down in a revetment, so I always took my paraphernalia and put it in the luggage box in the, in the airplane.
Biting my ear.
And I took the airplane and parked it. And they came around and picked me up, and I went up and had my evening meal. And then it dawned on me, my God, I left the gas mask down in the airplane. So I went down to the early room and I asked the first sergeant if I could use the Jeep. I wanted to go down on the line and get my rifle and my gas mask because we were supposed to carry that all the time. He said, sure. So I jumped into the damn Jeep and I barreled down, and all these airplanes were parked. It was dark, and we had Indians guarding our airplanes for us. And they walked their post with their rifle and their bayonet sticking out there. And the damn fool, I took the Jeep, drove right up to the side of the airplane like that. I drove right up to the side with the lights shining on the fuselage. I jumped out, opened up the fuselage door, and stuck my head in. And just I stuck my head in there like that to get my gas mask. This damn Indian guard come around behind me, and that long bayonet shoved it right in there. And I had my arm like this, and there come that bayonet.
No, wait a minute.
Well, what we always did was holler American soldier, which was magazine. And well, I don't know how many magazines I hollered. But he kept that right there, and I hollered magazine, gradually moved over like this, and then he could see.
I thought he pulled the bolt back, and he pulled back.
Well, that's another time. And when he saw it was an American soldier, then he backed off. But I'm telling you, I was scared then. Now, every once in a while, when we go down to get the airplanes, we always went down and pre-flighted them, and then got in them and drove them up on the line, so they were right ready to take off, alert. And when we went down there, we'd usually go down in a Jeep, maybe 10 or 15 guys on one Jeep, and they would just let us go, and we'd walk down. It happened to be on the Burma Road there, where the airplanes were. You wouldn't know anything about the Burma Road. But anyway, that was a very famous road the Japanese had taken. And we'd go down there, and every once in a while, you'd hear those Indian guards holler. I forgot what they hollered, but it was halt. And we'd start hollering, Mango Bean, Mango Bean. And every once in a while, they evidently didn't hear it, and you could hear them throw a bullet in that. And being the dead of morning, still dark, why everything just echoed. God damn, that was a eerie feeling. We would just slide to a stop when we heard that bolt action go in.
Didn't you challenge some officer one time?
Oh, that son of a gun, he got real mad about that. Before I had any stripes, I was a private, which is natural. And before I had any stripes, so I had to walk post just like any ordinary private. And I went out on the guard, and this was at a time when the Americans did their own guarding, We didn't have the Indians. And I had to, post was, say from here 3 times across the street, and you'd walk from one post, it was just called a post, our territory, back and forth. And I had my rifle and my gas mask and my canteen and anything else I was supposed to carry, walking back and forth. And any time we had the authority, any time to challenge anybody to come near that post, well, I'd walk back and forth, and then I'd stop and rest. And it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. And here, about every 4, 5, 6 hours, the officer of the day would come out and go to different places, just testing to see if we were awake. So here, this shaved tail, out of 90-day wonder. They took so much courses in school here, the 90 days of our officer. he come a walking along, and I couldn't see him. But I could hear him in the gravel walking, coming toward me. So I says, halt, who goes there? I remember these words yet. Halt, who goes there? And he said, officer of the day, and he kept right on coming. And I hollered, halt! Oh, I had that old gun. I wouldn't have shot him. I might have clubbed him to death, because we didn't like officers. I hollered, halt! And he stopped and he said, I said, officer of the day. And I said, advance to be recognized. And he said, I think he said, what's the matter with you? Or something like that. And he come walking slow up. And I said, halt again. And he stopped. And I said, recognized. And then he came over. And I can't remember what the deal was. Do you remember what it was?
I wasn't there.
Yes, you were, but you didn't know it.
Well, I think, yeah. Anyway, he came over and he says, how's everything going? And I said, just fine, sir. And I remember he said, do you think it's going to rain? And I said, well, I don't know, sir. It's sure clouding up. It looks like it. And I'll be son of a gun if he didn't go back. He was mad at me. When he went back, he told the sergeant of the guards that private out there on post 4 was a little bit too conversational. The first time I ever heard the word, never forgot it. And the sergeant of the guards told me.
Oh, yeah, I know why. I said,
He'd off because I challenged him. You're not supposed to do that. And you're supposed to know those guys. But I was much older than the average soldier. I was 27, and most of them are from their 20s younger, you know. And he figured, well, nobody will challenge him.
Yep, Jordan.
Yeah, except me. I was always getting in trouble. I got in trouble before I even went overseas by knowing too much. Did I ever tell you the time that over Camp Roberts, they had us all line up and they were teaching us mechanics. And they said, no, this sergeant said, now I want to show you guys wheel bearings on this big 4x4. And he said, these are the wheel bearings and this is the type of grease that goes in the wheel bearings. You fellas all line up there and file by and feel, each one of you takes some grease and feel the fiber in there. That is to cling to the bearings. So all these little guys, they get line and down like that. Come to me. Now remember, I was taken out of a garage. I've been in there 7 years and put in the Army. And when I walked by and just looked down at it and what? And he said, hey, Private, you didn't feel the fiber in this grease. And I said, Sergeant, I said, I've spent 7 years feeling that fiber. I know what it feels like. I said, and he said, I know, God damn, if you was born in a bucket of grease. And he said, get back here and feel it. Boing, 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 boing. I got back and I took out power. Oh, yeah. He didn't like me either.
What about the time you were supposed to back the trucks?
Well, that was another time. This next incident was, you'll understand this. They said, we're going to teach you to drive truck, big 4x4s, Army stuff. Well, I had drove trucks before, see. So they took and they set up, drove stakes to the ground. Ding, 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 these are stakes all around here. And they made the damn U-shaped thing about that much wider than the rear wheels of that truck. They said, now, each one of you, you, John, you get in and back that truck in there. He did. Okay, Mark, you back that truck in there. Well, I was right there watching, see? So they brought the truck, and the guy backed up here, and then jump out and look. And he'd run around here and look. And then he'd back up, then he'd look. I could see the damn truck fit in there. 6 inches on each side. Okay, Private Jordan, you try it. I gets in it, leaned out, kept my wheel 6 inches from this side. I knew it was going to be 6 inches on that side. What in the hell's the matter with you? You never once looked on the other side to see if you're going to knock those stakes down. I said, yeah, Sergeant, I know. I knew it would fit in there, and all I had to do was watch one side. That's a hell of a way to drive a truck. But it turned out, Mark, that I had already put in for the Air Corps, see? And that night, that sergeant came up to my place where I had my bunk, and he said, say, Jordan, he said, I noticed on your records that you put in for the Air Corps. And I said, yeah, I expect to be called most any day. He said, well, I also put in for you as a truck driver. He said, but that would make you a PFC. But he said, I see that you're going in the Air Corps, so there's no use in me giving you a promotion. And I said, that's right. And it was only about 4 days later I loaded up and went to March Field. The one that I think I got the most beaten up on, verbally, was he took this 4x4 and he raised up the hood and he had us all sit out in front of the bunker. And he said, now, we're going to troubleshoot today. He said, I'm going to do something to this truck engine, and he says, I want a couple of you guys to come up and diagnose it. So I forget now, on the first time he did something, 2 guys came up and they worked and worked and worked, and they couldn't get that engine started. It was. But then we all went to sit back down again. Then he got up there, and I heard click, click, and I seen him take a screwdriver. Click, click. Now 2 more guys, come on up. Well, with my experience, I knew damn well what the click, click was. Distributor.
Snap off the distributor.
Yeah, and what else could you do like that? So I jumped up and another guy jumped up, but I was ahead of him and I crawled up on the fender and took the screwdriver, click, click, cap came off. I told the guy, bump the starter. So he did. Pretty soon it came up on high cam and the damn points wasn't even opening. So I reached down there and I screwed them like that until they opened on high cam. Click, click, try it, just like that. And he said, boy, he said, that's pretty darn good. How did you do that so fast? And I said, well, what else can you do with a screwdriver on one of these and also hear a click, click? That's a hell of a way to diagnose anything. But I was always getting in trouble because I knew too much.
So much to play stupid.
I'd have been a lot better off. I'd have went right along and did everything they said. But there was one thing that I failed on, and that's when we was over there for 2 or 3 weeks. Then the sergeant wanted platoon leaders, and he would call these guys out, you lead. He'd lead. And when it came my turn, he said, Private Jordan, see what you can do with them. So I gets out there, and all these guys are all standing at attention. I mean, relaxed. So I called them to attention, and I said, right face. They all right-faced. And I said, forward march. Away they went. Well, I made the mistake of not going with them. I just stood there and watched them. When they started getting too far away, to the rear march, and only half of them heard it. Half of them turned and started back, and the other half kept right on going. And he said, oh, he said, you couldn't herd a bunch of sheep. Get back in line. And I never tried that again.